Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, family and friends. Well, December 31st, 2024 is about to be officially over, and I can say that this was the year of FAFO, which stands for F around, find out. I think a lot of Hispanic people that voted for Lord Voldemort, you're going to see some FAFO come next year or two. A lot of old white people, you're going to see some FAFO when if they get to doing the cuts to Medicare like they want. Anyway, today, other than it being FAFO season, one thing that I want to talk about, which I'm going to touch on at the end, which by now everybody has seen it, the Marcy Correctional Facility, which I believe is in New York, where they beat that prisoner to death. The officers beat that handcuffed prisoner to death. We'll talk about that. I don't want to start with that because it's going to get me hyped up. So I'm going to start off with the other stuff that I've got first, which to me, some of it is hilariously sad. Okay. First off, I'm just going to say it. Not 100%, not all. Trump supporters are stupid. Not all of them, but a good chunk of them. Because y'all just believe. As a matter of fact, you even hear some of the crazy stuff that he says, and you're like, that sounds like a great idea. Lemmings. All right. Tariffs. He said he's going to tariff, which whether he actually does it 20, 30%, whether he does it at all, doesn't matter. The fact that he said this publicly and y'all are okay with it, you don't think these things through. So he's going to tariff all the things that are coming from either Mexico or Canada or China or wherever. Where do you think your stuff from Walmart and Target comes from? You don't think those tariffs are going to count for the things that you're getting in your stores? Your prices are going to go up? Don't think these things through. All right? We'll get past that. The immigration. Oh, going to deport everybody. Not going to allow immigrants or aliens or whatever into the country. Well, apparently your president-elect, his right-hand man, Elon Musk, set his own Twitter platform on fire when he said, or he commented on somebody's post about HB visas for Middle Eastern or Indians. You know, he's like, oh yeah, no, they don't count. We still need them. We still need them. And somebody was like, well, wait a second. I thought we were America first, blah, 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 blah. And the way the conversation went, he either liked or agreed on a post where he was like, yeah, Americans aren't as smart as these people. So remember when I told you, ain't nobody coming and taking your jobs. They're being given away. The Republicans are giving your jobs away. I've been saying this for years. I've said it in my last 2 or 3 videos. And lo and behold, I told you so. Okay, we're going to get past that one. Here in Texas, in the great Lone Star State, there was a bill that passed, House Bill 900. And this is basically, it's the book ban bill that Texas had, where they don't want you teaching about all kinds of things, whether it's slavery or the Civil War or, you know, things that have to do with lesbian and gay people. They ban these books from school libraries. You can't have them because some of them contain sexually explicit material. All right? On the surface, you're like, oh, well, yeah, we don't want too much sex, blah, 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 being taught in school, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I get that. They don't think these things through. Now, the penalty is a felony. You can get a felony charge. Your principal or superintendent, whatever. So if I can remember the county, it's up by Amarillo. up by Amarillo, Texas, Canyon. I believe it's Canyon ISD. The superintendent, in all his divine glory, divine wisdom, he said, well, I don't want to catch a felony, so we're going to have to take the Bible out of the school library, because the Bible has many a passage with some sexually explicit material. I mean, I could quote you some passages and go look them up, but it's not too hard to figure out, you know. I don't know if it was Leviticus but there was one where these two daughters, they drugged and assaulted their father because they wanted to know what it was like. Like, just stuff like that is in the Bible, for those of you that didn't know it. Anyway, they don't think these things through. Hilariously sad. Now, we're going to get to the more serious stuff, okay? One of the things that 2024 has shown is that people don't know the definition of words, or they change the definition of words to suit their, I don't know, agenda, narrative, or fit whatever story they're trying to tell, all right? And I'm going to give you an example, okay? Like, younger generation, whether it's Z or whatever, I don't know, whatever. But they seem to have a difficult time with the definition of men and women. They think it's interchangeable. Like, oh, I can just choose to be a woman, or I can just choose to be a man. Like, as far as I'm concerned, I don't really care about that, because I don't need anybody to tell me to identify or whatever. Now, if you want me to play along in your whatever, that's a different story, okay? Oh, and I see your comment. Yes, this is a Chicago Bears hat. I got it for Christmas. It's engraved. That's why I'm not wearing a Dallas hat, but this was a Christmas gift, so get that out the way. So, as I was saying, I don't need a cosigner to tell me that I'm a man or anything like that. And I could care less if somebody says, oh, I'm they, them, or do you identify? I don't really care. That stuff doesn't really faze me at all. I don't care. If somebody wants to call me one, I don't care, okay? I know I'm a man. I don't need you to tell me. I don't need you to agree with me. I don't care, okay? So, that aside, there are kids that don't know how to define words or what the definition of words are. Well, MAGA folks are in the same boat, because they don't know how to define words either, like felon, sexual abuser, all right? How about woke? They seem to think that everything or anything is woke that they don't like or they don't agree with. That's not what woke means. Woke isn't just everything that you don't like. What woke means is a slang term. It means that you're not asleep. You're not sleeping on the stuff that's going on around you. You're paying attention. That's what woke means, okay? Same with Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter is not what you want to call it. Black Lives Matter started because of stuff like George Floyd. And really, it started way before that. You know, Rodney King was one of the first documented where we saw, a black person getting beat down by white cops. Okay? And you MAGA folks, this is where I can tell you that this is why I don't trust you. This is why I can't really get along with you, because I know you know better. You know some stuff is wrong, but you don't say anything. You don't say you're just as guilty in my mind as the cops that are doing it when you don't speak up. All right. So Robert Brooks was the man that was handcuffed in the infirmary, surrounded by 12 officers and a nurse and something else. But 14 people were in there while this handcuffed man, this prisoner, he was in prison, but in the infirmary. They are beating him, punching, the video showed punching, kicking, choking. They beat this man to death. 14 people witnessed it. They were all standing within a 10-foot radius. Not one of them said anything. Not one of them tried to stop it. They're all, when I say, when people say all cops are bad, this is what they're talking about. They don't literally mean 100% of all police officers are bad. They mean that the ones that are doing bad things and it's being witnessed by other cops, those cops are bad too because they didn't stop it. You're supposed to protect and serve. There is nothing that man could have said, nothing that warranted or that justified him being beaten to death. He could have been talking about your mama, your kids. It doesn't matter what he said. He is a handcuffed, helpless individual who's getting beat to death in front of 14 people. There's absolutely nothing he could have said that justified him being beaten to death. Absolutely nothing. Okay? But I shouldn't be surprised. Lynching is in your blood. It's in your blood. Okay? All of y'all, I waited till today. To all the people that I know that are MAGA or whatever, I waited and I watched. I waited to see if you guys said a single thing about these cops, about what happened to this dude. You didn't. I'm sure you saw it. I'm sure you watched it. You didn't say anything. You're just as guilty. Just as guilty. You're culpable. Same way if somebody is sitting in a stolen car, you get picked up by your friend stole a car, he comes and picks you up. Oh, guess what? Guilty by association. You both go to jail for grand theft auto, even if you didn't know anything about it. Guilt by association. You didn't say anything about this man beaten to death. Maybe it's because you don't care. Maybe you thought he deserved it. Maybe you'd like to see that for all colored and minority people. I don't know. But I know you sure didn't say anything about this guy being beaten to death. And that's very telling. Very telling about the systemic racism that's, you don't believe it exists? Well, this to me is proof positive that it does exist. And if you unfriend me after this, I don't care. I really don't. Because next year, every time Voldemort makes a misstep, misfires, misspeaks, anything, I'm going to be rubbing this in your face. So if you can't take it, I'm letting you know now, you should start unfriending me before the new year starts, because I'm going to be watching and I'm going to be waiting and I'm going to speak on it. Until then, Happy New Year to everybody, everybody else. Hopefully next year will not be have as much turmoil as this last year. Thank you guys and have a good day.